Thank you, Dr. Fischer-Bohlin. We just changed the order of speakers for technical reasons, so I'm going to be the second speaker. My name is Uwe Heimowski, and I represent Gemeinsam gegen Menschenhandel, Together Against Human Trafficking. We just heard of all those people involved, Mr. Ernst, Tatjana, Angelika Franke, and whoever witnessed the events of the past few weeks. So much happened, and we kept thinking, can we do such a conference in times like this? There is Corona, there is of course the situation in Ukraine, there were so many difficulties, and all the more I think it is fantastic that we are able to hold this conference both in presence as well as internationally and online. And allow me to say that this conference is necessary now more than ever. Not long ago, Dietmar Roller, board member of CAS, gave an interview with the magazine The Spiegel on the situation in Ukraine at the borders. Dietmar Roller works with the IJM, and they do, amongst other things, research on the darknet, and he reports from someone from southern Germany inviting other friends from the darknet saying, let's set up our private Ukrainian brothel. That's the reality we're seeing. On the one hand, we see huge solidarity to help refugees, European solidarity to help and support. But in the middle of all this, we also see traffickers who brutally abuse the situation. Gemeinsam gegen Menschenhandel is a network of more than 40 institutions, many of them with a Christian background, not all of them, but what unites them as all is that they act at grassroots level and support people, for example, running a cafe, like the Café Neustadt here in Berlin, or street workers in Hamburg, in Frankfurt, in Munich, in Stuttgart, in Heilbronn. And at the beginning of the pandemic, we saw how short-sighted the law for protecting prostitution in Germany was, because it showed that women were still working on the streets after all. They were still homeless after all. So we can see this practical exchange shows just how great the need is in our country alone to help women, to help persons affected. Today and tomorrow we're going to look at the international perspective, but for us it's very important not to lose sight of the German situation, and we would like to use this conference to state two claims from practical life to politicians. First, in Germany, we urgently need a coordinated national action plan. We feel that a lot of things that are happening are people's own initiatives. They happen in the short term, and whenever situations change or worsen, then they get neglected. So we very clearly asked for a coordinated action plan, and secondly, we lack a national referral mechanism to identify responsibilities for various procedures, which in turn brings us back to the target countries that I think we're going to hear a lot about. I'm very much looking forward to this conference to hear how people are going to discuss and talk about this. We are very grateful to our partners, Adenauer Stiftung as a political foundation, the OSZE for a more international context. We are hoping for concrete approaches to be developed and implemented that will be presented to politicians, to legislators, but also that will help those affected, those working at grassroots level. And finally, allow me to thank all of you who work in this field, who often work for long hours, work more than you're being paid for. I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I hope that the following 2 days are going to be a fruitful exchange for all of us. Thank you.